crisis.
So your position is fair skepticism about the vaccines, and let's get some more studies and information out there, and then we can make our own decisions based on that.
Right. What's the cause of the uptick in chronic illness, autism, all these different things? What is it? Are there environmental factors? Is it contamination? Is it food? Is it pollution? What is it? What is it? What is it? And could it be that too? Could it be these vaccines? Is it possible that these people that tell these stories about having perfectly healthy children and then them getting vaccinated and then all of a sudden the kid like going non-responsive?
Yeah.
That seems like it's possible that there's a correlation there.
Yeah.
If there's a cause and then there's an effect. If there is an action and then there's an effect.
Let's see if there's a connection
If there's a
here.
thing that you do, and all these parents, you could say a bunch of them, it was just a coincidental that the kids started showing it after the medication was administered, and maybe that's true. Maybe that's true.
And
but how do we know if that's not even considered?
I think there's a timing
if it's a taboo
thing too.
subject.
Isn't there like a timing thing where like kids don't show those symptoms until one, and that is when you vaccinate them or something? So there are there's correlational issues here.
Doesn't mean causation.
Of course not. But let's study
the fact
it. Let's
that
fucking
you
look at
can't
it
ever even consider
without looking like
that
a wacko.
injecting kids with chemicals, including mercury and aluminum, that you're doing this. That this might have a negative effect on some kids, and that maybe the corresponding uptick in these chronic illnesses and allergies and diseases and autism, maybe.
What was the allergy
you can't even
connection
say
again? What was
aluminum.
That's right, because every one of the vaccines has a little aluminum in it.
Well, the way it is, you have an inert form of the virus, right? And then you have this irritant. You have this thing that fucks with your body, and your body goes, what is this?
I gotta
the
go fix
aluminum's
it.
there. Oh, there's a vaccine, or there's a virus in here,
I'll
dead
create
virus.
the antibodies.
I'll create the antibodies.
Yeah.
And it works. It does work. But does it also have negative effects? And is it a volume thing? Is it the amount of vaccines you give a kid all together?
Yes.
You know, they're trying to give your kid like HPV vaccine right from birth.
Yeah.
Like, when do they start giving them hepatitis B? That's
12 hours
That's
in.
when birth. Yeah.
12 hours in, they came into the room, and they're like, hepatitis B.
Yo!
And I was like, what is it? Because I didn't know what it was. And they were like, it's a disease that could kill your kid. And I was like, well, we should probably give it to her. And then I'm like, how do you even get it? And they're like, it's a sexually transmitted disease. And I was like, hold on.
Yeah.
I think that we could pump the brakes a little bit
12
on this
hours
one.
old?
Yeah.
We got time.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay, so I understand. So now there's a skepticism. People see.
Then, right now, just having this conversation, even talking about it the way we've talked about it so carefully, you'll be labeled an anti-vaxxer. So Andrew Schulz and Joe Rogan float around anti-vax conspiracy theories.
Well, we're not conspirizing right now, right?
Nope.
We're just literally saying maybe it's okay to do the research without shame.
Well, how is it not possible to talk about it without being labeled a kook? If this is a thing, if you're injecting kids with chemicals, and we know that medications have adverse effects, even simple medications. Some people have horrible effects from all kinds of stuff. There's people that can't take, like Aaron Rodgers couldn't take the mRNA vaccines because there's an ingredient in them that he's deathly allergic to.
So an interesting thing is I asked the doctor, and she was actually great. The doctor was really great. Like, her mom was kind of anti-vax, and she's like, so I understand it. There's no pressure. I was telling you this. And then she said this was interesting. I was like, what about if we scheduled them out, delayed them, I think is what they say. And so you have less viral load at one time. She said something interesting. She goes, listen, every vaccine has a little bit of preservative in it, right? You need to have a little bit in order to keep that inert disease alive or whatever. She goes, so the question you have to ask now is, okay, maybe the preservative isn't good to put in your kid, and now you're putting more of it in because you're doing more vaccines over a longer period of time. So this is a variable I didn't even fucking think of. I'm trying to lower the viral load that my 8-week-old baby has inside her, but now I'm increasing the preservative load that the baby has. And I don't know the effects of that. And that's why I had to walk out.
And the thing is, the medical institutions have been captured by pharmaceutical drug companies. And they're captured.
Well,
they're captured
go on
by
that.
the agencies.
Yeah.
It's not as simple as a doctor is basing it all on his education and his understanding of this particular situation and the objective science of all of it. No, there's a narrative. There's a narrative that gets distributed. And that was the narrative during COVID. You must get vaccinated. They were telling people to get vaccinated right after they got over COVID. It doesn't even make sense. It's completely unscientific.
And they make it restrictive. Like, for example, My wife, in order for her to go to school, had to get the booster. Like, she was getting her MBA, and she had to.
Yeah.
So, and the same thing with kids. Like, if you want to put your kid in like a school, they have to have them all.
Yeah.
If you want to put it in a daycare,
if you want to travel, if you want to fly, certain jobs.
So you start to feel the pressure, and the outside pressure makes you go, okay, I'm being forced into this decision. I don't really have my freedom. You say I have my freedom, but I want my kid to get educated.
Right.
I want my kid to be able to go see their grandparents. I want my kid to do these things. And yeah, you do feel this, you feel a social pressure. You don't want to be labeled a fucking anti-vax weirdo. But at the same time, it was hard as hell for my wife and I to get pregnant. So I'm really protective over this innocent little baby. And I don't want to be responsible for giving him something that could fuck him up. I don't know how I live with myself. Yeah.